Hi, Taurus and Taurus Rising. Here is your horoscope from March 2025. I'm Astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, this is one of the most monumental months of the year. I tried to touch upon this during my 2025 overview videos, but now that we're here in March, this is going to be a huge month for everybody. This is because we have two eclipses coming in, but that's not even the big news. We have Venus going retrograde, which is your ruler. So if you're a sun sign Taurus or a rising sign in Taurus, and wherever Taurus is in your birth chart, that's the area that's going to be affected. And we have Mercury going retrograde as well. That's going to happen in Aries as well. But the really big news is Neptune is going to switch signs. And Neptune, when Neptune switches signs, it's very important because this doesn't happen too often. And if you know, you've been following me a while, you know that we have all the outer planets switching signs this year. So we had Pluto that already started last year, but now we have the rest of them this year that are going to switch signs. And so this is a very important month because this sets the tone for the next 6 months to a year ahead. We've got a super powerful lunar eclipse, which is going to highlight your 5th house right here. And I'll cover that as well. So there's a lot of activity taking place here this month. And this is going to be a month where we're going to scratch our heads and go, holy crap. And so that's what this kind of month looks like. Okay, nothing to be worried about. It's just the way the energy works. And it's going to be kind of weird once again. So as we start off the month, you can see here the Sun, Saturn, Mercury, the North Node, and Neptune are all in Pisces in your 11th house. This has a lot to do with the future. It has a lot to do with community. It has a lot to do with your friendships, acquaintances, and your hopes and wishes for the future. And so as we begin the month, there's a lot on your mind about where you want to be, what you want to do, where you want to go, and who you want to get involved in because of these Pisces energy. Pisces is a very foggy kind of energy. It's confusing, but it's very mystical and spiritual. So for many of you, you will be embracing this higher understanding of spirituality, mysticism, how the universe works, and you'll begin to let go of things, situations, people, whatever is not working for you, you need to push away. But you'll get a chance to review all of that stuff this month because as we start off the month, Venus, your ruler, goes retrograde in Aries. So there it is right there in stationary position in your 12th house, which is a very spiritual house, but it's also a house that represents endings, limitations, victimization, the past. And so we are seeing this energy activated in this 12th house for many of you. And so what does that mean? It means that you're going to be going back into the past once again, having to do with relationships, financial matters, missed opportunities. This is a time to contemplate all of these things in your life. And that's what Venus in Aries will do for many of you. So from time to time, you'll become really nostalgic and, wish you had done this and wish you had done that and wish you had invested in this and that and so on and so forth. Remember, we got all these planets in Pisces, which is all about wishing and hoping and, kind of imagining. And now with Venus retrograde in the 12th house, it adds another element of that sort of fantasy-oriented confusion time frame. Okay, that's how I could best describe it. Now, how can you use this energy in a positive way? Revisit the past in terms of your neighborhood or friendships or acquaintances and go, hey, we had a great time. It was wonderful. I'm so grateful. And then once Venus comes out of retrograde, which is going to be on April the 12th, you move on with your life. That's how it works. It's not anything you should be overly, burdened by or confused by or over concerned about. It's just, the energy working its magic through our consciousness. And since Venus is your ruler, it will affect you this month in a big way. Now, Mercury goes into Aries on the 3rd. This will be amping up our desire to overthink. Mercury works very well in Aries. It's very quick-witted, very sharp, an imagination and everything to do with the psyche and spirit and psychic ability all gets enhanced as Mercury makes its way into Aries in this 12th house. So pay attention to your dreams at this time. This month is going to be all about opening up a doorway to the past and understanding the choices that you've made and how they're affecting you today. And then you maybe even shown a little bit of the future. because Uranus is in Taurus moving direct, Jupiter is in Gemini moving direct, and Mars is in Cancer moving direct in the third house. So what this suggests to me, that there's great opportunity as well to look into the future and look for possibilities, because that's how it works. There are possibilities, and then all of a sudden, one that really stands out is something that you have to focus on. So I want you to pay attention while Mercury is going through Aries in direct motion before it goes retrograde on the 15th. Now, this total lunar eclipse in Virgo, it's very powerful. It's because it is a total eclipse, means that the light gets blocked out completely. And so this is going to be at 23 degrees of Virgo, and it'll be in the 5th house here. Again, this is a sun chart, or if you have a rising, in Taurus, or a sun in Taurus, this is a very general, basic sun chart. But wherever this occurs in your actual birth chart, you want to look at that area. So this is going to be opposing the sun, and it's going to be involved with all these other planets. So the Virgo lunar eclipse is about endings, completions, and realizations. And it's in the 5th house, which means some sort of creative project or endeavor or something that is not working anymore will run its course. It could be anything such as a relationship, a project, a job, something to do with health, because Virgo is associated with health, meaning that maybe you're just done with eating crappy food, and maybe you're not exercising enough, and you decide, I need to change my health routine. The 5th house has to do with children as well. So maybe you have a child that's moving out of your house, or there's something going on with a child in your life. It could have to do with creative projects. Maybe you're finally completing a project that, took you forever to accomplish. So this is going to be a monumental total lunar eclipse in Virgo. It's an earth sign like yours. So it's in the 5th house. So it's a bit softened, but it is opposing the sun, and the north node is right there. You may be going in a new direction. There may be some new revelations or awarenesses that come to you in some way that is going to be very important. So again, pay attention to your dreams, your visions, and the subtle energies that are coming in that are trying to tell you something. Now, this new moon will be making a favorable alignment to Uranus as well. So information could be coming out of the subconscious a couple of days or a couple of days after this full moon. So this is going to be a very big, important time for many of you. Okay, so don't make any life-changing decisions, but it's more about awarenesses and realizations. Now, Mercury goes retrograde on the 15th, and so here we have the second planet that's going to go retrograde, especially in Aries, in your 12th house. So you're revisiting the past. Something about the past is going to continue to resurface. As you can see here, Mercury and Venus are both going to be very close together in proximity for at least another week or so. And they'll both be going backwards and heading towards Pisces again. And so Mercury in retrograde tends to slow us down. There's a bit of confusion and uncertainty in the mix. It's just the way it works. But with the eclipse right around that same time frame, and all these retrogrades, it's literally saying something has to come to an end. Something's got to give. I've got to change something about my habits or my daily routine in some way. And this is what Mercury and Venus retrograde are going to do in the next couple of weeks. So it's going to be very important, because we have a solar eclipse that's coming in that's going to highlight this 12th house at the end of the month. The sun enters Aries on the 20th right there. So you see Aries now, the energy of Aries actually works pretty well for Taurus and Taurus rising. It motivates Taurus and Taurus rising. Even though it's in the 12th house, you may find yourself working by yourself or working on projects behind the scenes, which is kind of normal when you have this many planets in the 12th house. And so Aries is going to shine a light on the self, because Aries represents the self, self-motivation, self-care, and so on and so forth. And so this is going to be a time for absolutely strong information, reinventing yourself before all this energy starts coming down into the first house, which is going to be actually in April and May. So you're going to come to major realizations about your life in some way during this cycle as well. Now, Venus retrogrades back into Pisces on the 27th. And there she is right there, retrograding and meeting up once again with Neptune and the North Node. And so what this is suggesting is maybe there's some people from the past that resurface into your life. Maybe there's an old community or neighborhood that you want to revisit. It is all about the past at this point because Venus has gone back into Pisces. And Venus in Pisces does work well. It's exalted there, but it's in retrograde, which means that the nostalgia feeling is going to be very strong. And, maybe there's something that you've always wanted to do and it's coming, up again for you to review. That's what my suggestion would be. As far as finances are concerned, this is definitely tricky. And I think we may be seeing another market crash or a reevaluation of funds and the economy and all that other stuff because Venus rules money. And it's going to be very closely aligned to Neptune once again. So that we could see some more market crashes or dips in the markets and stuff like that. So it might affect us as well. The new moon solar eclipse on the 29th is going to highlight that 12th house again. Now, this is a very strong solar eclipse. It's going to be at 9 degrees. And so once again, we're seeing this 12th house really lit up. And so this is absolutely suggesting a spiritual awakening, a reinventing of yourself in some way. And it's within you. It's not anything external, like you're showing the world this new you. No, this is all happening inside of you. And so you are slowly transforming yourself from the inside out. And we could thank Uranus for that as well, because it's been in Taurus for the last 6 years or so. Setting the stage for major change in your identity, your belief systems, your religious beliefs, because the 12th house also represents religious beliefs. And so you're becoming this new person inside in spirit. Okay, so that solar eclipse is going to open up major doorways in that area. Mercury retrogrades into Pisces on the 30th, right there, joins Venus, as you can see here. Again, could be a bit of a confusing time. So please don't beat yourself up. Don't feel sorry for yourself. None of that stuff. That's a waste of energy. It's just a doorway that's opening that's saying, okay, what is it that's not working for me anymore? What do I have to change? What do I need to let go of? Are there friends and people in my life that don't belong there anymore? Do I need to move? Don't make any major decisions just yet, okay? Because of Venus weekend, Mercury weekend as well. I would say wait until at least the middle of April when Venus comes out of retrograde. Then you can think a little bit more clearly, okay? So, and then last but not least, of course, the big news this month is Neptune entering Aries for the first time in like 140 years or something like that. So Neptune going into Aries is really going to amp up your psychic ability. So in the next, 10 to 14 years, I forgot how long it stays in that sign, but this is going to amp up your spirituality, mysticism, your ceremonies, psychic ability. It's going to completely enhance it. It's going to turn a lot of you guys into artists and very creative. Venus is very creative. And in Aries, it'll motivate you. And so you're going to have a lot of motivation over the years to come with Neptune in Aries. Okay? So anyway, here is your general overview. There's an extended version of this horoscope in my Inner Circle community, as you can see here from this slide. And of course, there's a free 7-day trial. So check out the link down below. And there I teach astrology. We do Zoom calls every Sunday. And you could ask me, questions in the community on Sundays. And if you need me to look over your chart, you send it to me ahead of time and I will look it over in the community as well. And so there's a lot of cool people there, and there's a lot of information in there. You can even, learn about the course. We do remote viewing sessions every 2 weeks. So there's a lot to do in there. All right. So anyway, check it out. There's a link down below, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great month, and bye for now.